In the last 6 months, I've been walking most of the precincts, and I've had the opportunity to listen to and talk to the voters. And the number one concern in their minds is jobs. Hence one of the reasons why I'm running. Aerospace and defense is a huge industry here in Arizona. I have experience in small business. I was a vice president of a manufacturing business. And I have the management and leadership skills to motivate and lead productive teams. And I want to be able to work with competitors of businesses that we have in the state and have them articulate to them what the capabilities and the talents that we have here in Arizona and entice them to come to Arizona for their business growth. So relative to job growth and development, I would lean towards the high-tech jobs. The high-tech jobs are going to draw people with additional skills, which will fuel the education system, and parents will demand better school systems, and I think the system will then be a closed-loop system. So that's the area that I would like to target.
Well, you're asking an engineer who has spent 30 years teaching engineers, so obviously I think high-tech is a desirable place to be. When I was a teacher, I personally arranged professional jobs for over 300 of my students because I have a lot of contacts within the engineering community and because I've done a lot of business with other engineering companies. I think those are good jobs, and while I know those are good jobs, they pay well, they're good working conditions, and they allow you to support a family. That being said, we need to encourage any kind of business creation. Obviously, real estate, construction are big in our district. And anything that we can do to encourage job creation will be good. You have to realize the government does not create jobs. All the government does is impede job creation. So we need to get the government to back off instead of having excessive regulations that make it really hard for a startup to figure out what to do and how to get started. Let's foster things and do things to help them. The ASU Research Park is a good example. Sky Song is another good example. It's not in our district, but it's close, and the Research Park is in our district. Those are things that actually have fostered job creation through tax incentives, basically. We need to do everything we can, and one of the important things for the long term is education. You have good education, you automatically get good jobs and a great economy.
Well, I think we have to be careful about predictions. There's a lot of predictions that don't come true, and actually with our economy, that's been pretty much the case of late. We're running behind with respect to the dollars that are coming into the state's economy. But I'll try to give you an example of what I've done while I've been in office. And some years ago, I'll use Arizona State University, but this is applicable to all three state universities. The last time we had a major economic crunch was right after 9/11. And I got tasked by the Speaker of the House. I was the Speaker pro tem at that time. And how do you grow the economy when you've got some major downfalls? And that's what we have currently. But I was able to come together with the university system and with fellow legislators in a bipartisan manner and do the bioscience research facilities at Arizona State University as well as U of A and NAU. And what that did was, at that time, ASU was bringing about $90 million in grants dollars. And today I can honestly tell you that we're upwards to over $400 million. That's a major, major thing to our district and the economy in general. And then when you look at other jobs, I mean, you have to look at service industry type jobs and that creation. You have to also look at infrastructure. Roads are going to be very important, and our roads are starting to deteriorate at a fairly rapid rate, and we have to make sure that that's a driver in the economy, because Arizona in many cases is up and down the road, passing through in many directions. But a quick quick story when I was on the Chandler City Council was when we were growing as a community, I said, why didn't we have a Home Depot? And believe it or not, Chandler didn't have a Home Depot. And finally, we got the people from Home Depot in, put them up in a helicopter, and had them look down at Chandler. They said, holy cow, they didn't realize that all the houses there, because we were growing so much faster than the census information was coming in to corporate headquarters. So you have to reach out. You have to go out and find these types of things. And I think through the Commerce Authority, we're doing a lot of that. We've done a lot over the last year with respect to Governor Brewer's initiatives and such. And I think we're in a good place to get our economy up and moving.
I'm going to tag on to what Bob said, because my business is in the restaurant and hospitality industry. We serve restaurants, that sort of thing, and they're typically a leading indicator of what the economy is going to be like. In the month of May, Arizona lost a net 15,000 jobs, and so that would tell me that we're not quite moving in the direction that everyone thinks we were. I read an article at the beginning of this year that said that the restaurant industry is going to be the fastest growing in Arizona in the entire country. We haven't seen the growth. So I agree, you have to be careful with predictions sometimes and how much equity you put into those things. I've been working in business for a long time. I spent a lot of time in corporate America. I've owned my own business for the last 11 years. And I see, like was mentioned earlier, Motorola used to be the largest employer. They're non-existent now. When I first came to Arizona in 1983, this was a mecca for technology, and it's not. We really need to bolster the technology industry, the aerospace industry. We have a great opportunity to have a hub here for air transport services out of the Williams Airfield place, and I think there's a great opportunity there. We need to look at how we bolster transportation so we can be a greater commerce. We're in a terrific location. We're close to Mexico. We're close to the West Coast in California. So there are a lot of things that we can do, but certainly biosciences, aerospace, technology, those are the three that I think stand on top.